And again, you think we've gone down the cliff? We were just down kind of at the top of the mountain here, where it's just at a slight grade. You kind of bounce down some rocks, get some cuts and bruises. Doesn't feel too good. Now we've got one handhold right there at the edge of a 10,000-foot drop. I mean, whew, the wind's blowing over us. We're bleeding. Our head's bruised. We're kind of dizzy. You think you've been through some tyranny? You ain't seen nothing yet. And we're right there with one handhold. And the Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL, federal government, FBI, Justice Department are like little devils on our fingers, just stabbing them. Stabbing the Patriots, stabbing Ron Paul, trying to get that hand to let go. And the hand is, they're like little insects chewing through our fingers. And they want us to fall. And we're hanging. All of us are hanging together. And we need everybody to regenerate the tissue in those fingers. By every person you warn, every person you speak out to, every talk show you call, every email you send, every Facebook and Twitter you engage in, every YouTube video you upload, every banner hang you do on a highway, every group of police officers you walk up to in a coffee shop and talk to. Get past that first level of fear. That regenerates the tissue as these little demonic beetles are trying to eat the flesh away from our hand. And if we took enough action, our hand would swell in size and power and be able to pull us up. And then we could crawl, getting the body moving up the cliff back towards liberty. But right now, we're hanging over the precipice, hanging right now. And the traitors are doing everything they can to make sure we fall. Because they've always hated the republic. They've always hated our liberties. They've always hated our freedoms. And when America falls, the light of liberty goes out of the world. You know, growing up, I was more ignorant about the world and how bad it really is. And I'd hear, oh, the United States, the light of the world, the city on the hill, and Ronald Reagan would say it. And despite all our indiscretions and problems, we really were that. And our country would criticize secret arrest and checkpoints and police brutality. And when we did have things like that happen, the public got upset. People in government got upset. And we would get back on course, at least trying to go in the right direction. But now, since the staged events of 9/11, that undoubtedly was a stake through the heart of the republic. All over the world, every government says we can torture and kill and secretly arrest now. America does it. And you notice our government doesn't criticize that anymore. The United States is now not like a lighthouse to wary ships that are lost at sea. Now, it's actually like a black hole sucking the light out of the world. A huge engine of just absolute death and destruction and weakness. And I almost wanted at a red light pull up beside that guy and roll on the window and say, hey, you say never forget 9/11. You say, God bless our snipers. If you really care about those snipers, you'd not want to be mercenaries for the people destroying our country. You know, what do you think about Al-Qaeda given control of Libya? You do know about that. And, you know, I talked to good old boys now, and I was at our deer camp. I wasn't deer hunting, but there were some deer hunters there. And they knew who I was and a month or so ago on opening weekend. And they knew who I was, and I was talking to them. They'd seen the show online and seen me on History Channel and things. And they're like, Alex, you know, I just can't believe the government would do that. And I said, criminal elements. And I said, well, you know Al-Qaeda's been given control of Libya. And they go, yeah, I guess Obama's just a traitor. Obama's a traitor? No. I mean, I've been on shows like Man Count. He says, he must be a secret Muslim. Oh, you mean NATO and the Pentagon? Everybody's a secret Muslim because they gave Libya to Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda was created by the Pentagon. On record. Zbigniew Brzezinski, who set it up in '79, brags. Saudi Arabia is where they're based. Al-Qaeda goes out and finds useful idiots like the FBI does to go on an airplane or whatever. And they're so drugged up, you know, the federal government, the CIA, has to get them on the aircraft. And I was bringing up the underwear bomber, gotten on the plane, and the guy had even heard of that. But he just smiled at me and he said, there's probably indiscrepancies in the Bible, but you still believe in that. You're still Christian, aren't you? And I said, well, to take your argument, yes, I'm still a Christian. He goes, well, it's the same with me. I choose. This guy's an engineer, you know, well-to-do, smart guy. He looked at me and he said, I choose to not look at that information. My government's good. He's an Army, you know, or Air Force veteran, the whole 9 yards. was an engineer in the Air Force. And that's what George Orwell talks about in 1984, Crime Stop or doublethink. He said it was the most intelligent members of the party, when shown pure proof that Big Brother was lying, would just say, I choose to not see that information. And I said, you know they got underwear bomber on the plane. You know they're giving al-Qaeda control of Libya. You know they used them against the Serbs and the Russians. Do you understand the government allowed that to happen as a pretext to take all of our liberties? I said, you know they're training the military and police to go after veterans and people. And he goes, I have seen that in the news. I go, well, I broke that information. You understand the bait and switch? And he said, I see what you're saying, but I still just can't believe it. And I choose not to. And had a twinkle in his eye. That is a person willfully not able to face the super creepy fact. What about Fast and Furious? Confirm they lied about that. Confirm they shipped the guns directly into Mexico. Confirm they blew the whistle on themselves when they knew it was coming out to limit it. Confirm the government shipping narcotics in. You know, I mean, I had Arte Saveda, the Austin police chief, in here last week, and I cornered him walking out, and I said, you know they're growing opium in Afghanistan. It's in the news. You know Fast and Furious was a staged event. You know about this. And he just gave me the same look and just said, well, the whole government's not bad. I just can't believe that. And I looked at him and I said, you've got children. I said, you just think about the world you're giving them living in your denial. The good thing is, though, when he first came in here 4 years ago or whatever, he was smiling and thought it was all funny. He didn't think it was funny anymore. And then he said some private things to me that showed me he's starting to wake up. And he looked freaked out. Well, you should be freaked out, buddy. I'm freaked out. You think I like being right at the tip of the spear up against these people? You think I like threading the needle? You think I like the fact that they could and may and probably will kill me soon or set me up? I say so be it. I'm not going to live my life as some coward that sells out to evil and makes excuses and says, well, the government got the underwear Christmas bomber on the plane, and yeah, al-Qaeda works for the criminals that run our government, and yeah, the government ships drugs in here, and yeah, the government lied and said Obama was against indefinite detention. First, they said there was no such thing for citizens when it was in the bill. Then Obama said he was against it, but in his own memos was for it, and we said, no, he's going to sign it. Now he's announced today he's going to sign it. And now they went ahead and admitted, okay, it is for citizens. It's lies within lies within lies within lies within lies. They've got psychological warfare handbooks they follow. And now it's, yeah, we stole the money in MF Global. Yeah, we're shipping drugs in. Yeah, we're shipping guns out. And Eric Holder came here Wednesday night. We have video of it. I showed it last night on the Nightly News. And he came there, and the head of the UT department groveled to him, and they called him gracious and heroic and a great good man. I mean, here is a known admitted perjurer, criminal, false flag terrorist by every definition. And he's here staging an event against the Second Amendment to fearmonger the public into giving up their guns. And their memos are public that that was their plan. And here he is with all these cowards in stuffed suits bowing down to it, and the UT Law School coming and literally clapping and kissing his demonic butt. Don't you children, and that's what these people are like. They're like Arrested Development children. Don't you understand that when you give in to evil and just go ahead and certify every form of corruption as good, no one is safe? And like oxygen, when you get thrown out of a space capsule or your spacesuit ruptures on a spacewalk, you're going to die within seconds politically, sociologically, economically. A couple years politically is like a few seconds in the scheme of human time. And in a matter of seconds, the air, there's a big hole in the spaceship, and all the air is pouring out right now. The prosperity was generated by liberty. You get rid of the liberty, the prosperity is going out the capsule wall. And a lot of you made jokes about this early on. Now you're trying to, get your oxygen tanks on. We got to fix the hole, folks. So, in case you just joined us, the media and the government across the board lied and said for weeks that the indefinite detention bill, NDAA, did not affect citizens. Now, ABC, CBS, they all admit it. The articles are at Infowars.com and the right-hand side of DrudgeReport.com. Now, here's some of the other headlines. Big Sis orders ICE to prepare for mass influx of immigrants. That's the cover for the FEMA camps, just as it was in the 80s. Directive follows leaked KBR memo requesting subcontractors to service detention camps that no one will cover or link to. They say, now we're getting ready, within 72 hours notice, when the order is given, to actually, for the first time in modern history, pay the private contractors to man the camps, with jail guards, all of it, and no one cared. Only Infowars.com, who broke it, had it. No one else picked it up. No mainstream media. Because, again, they were preconditioned. There are no FEMA camps. I'm not going to run with bona fide documents and phone numbers and internal emails because they told me it didn't exist. Oh, they're announcing world government in Europe. Well, I better not criticize it because it didn't exist. I was told so. So NDAA didn't affect citizens. Obama was against it when it came out. It did affect citizens. And then we can play you the clips of Lindsey Graham, Carl Levin, McCain, all the senators saying, yeah, it affects citizens, and Obama asked us to do it. Those videos are up in our article right now. I just played one of them. This is the level of deception. This is a criminal group. People are always, I hear them on talk radio, I wish the government wasn't so dumb and would fix things. While they think raising taxes will help, all the studies show it'll destroy the economy. They know that. The mega corporations are exempt. They write the loopholes. They're offshore. They know they're screwing it up. They know. They know. They're premeditated. They're bad. Oh, man. Look at this. White House okays military detention of terrorism suspects, including U.S. citizens. CBS News. Here's another one. London Guardian, military given go-ahead to detain U.S. terrorist suspects without trial. Civil rights group dismayed as Barack Obama abandons commitment to veto new security law contained in defense bill. Flip-flopper. Obama will not veto detention bill. Of course he won't. He was the one that had it added. You just heard the senators. Here's another article explaining to a 5-year-old why the indefinite detention bill applies to U.S. citizens on U.S. soil. Yeah, you got to tell your kids. You're a political activist or writer. The government's going bad. It happens in history sometimes. Like in Nazi Germany and Russia. I've had to have this talk with my son. And you got to understand, your daddy could be arrested. They could say horrible things about me. You need to know that stuff's not true. You know I'm a good moral person. My son's like, yes, Dad, I know you are. You have to understand they could kill me, too. And they could come after you. I'm going to be honest with you. You're 9 years old at the time you know this. He goes, I understand. I've read history. I'm glad we're fighting the evil no matter what happens. And he hugs me. Got more courage than most 50-year-old men. And you people out there that think if you live in denial, this isn't all going to happen, you're going to have everything taken. Your farms, your ranches, everything. I mean, they are going to bring in hardcore tyranny. They want to fully butcher this nation. They want to fully re-educate it. They want to bring everybody to their knees. Predator drones attacking checkpoints, hellish control freak tough guys that love hunting U.S. citizens released, foreign mercs, all of it. And they are all enemies when they engage in this. They are foreign occupiers by the bankers. We're not fighting governments now. We're fighting mega banks that come to shut down governments. I am heartened, though. People are supporting us. We're getting the word out. I want to close by saying, if you want to really wake people up, another good way to do it and support our operation, refuel our tanks in the info war, is to get all 18 of my films on DVD. So you can give out 18 different gifts. And if you order by Sunday night, it'll be all shipped out Monday, guaranteed delivery in the U.S. All 18 of my powerful films, 70% off, $99.95, or only 360 Federal Reserve notes at Infowars.com.